taste of vanilla magic led him to new forms of experimentation.
We're back.
New levels of depravity.
Look where we are. We're back.
Okay, so in this example, the player is exploring the hub. They've been correctly taught the shock arrow mechanic. And thanks to the design work done by Kai Zheng, they've also been told that shock arrows mean interesting themes and that there's a lot of different variety and a lot of different gameplay, right? So we've made a convincing promise to the player. So watch it one more time, and I want you to watch just what the camera behavior does.
The taste of vanilla magic led him to new forms of experimentation.
We're back.
New levels of depravity.
Look where we are. We're back. Stone Falls. Is this even the same area? I don't even know. It is, because this is the gate we opened, right? To get to the side content area. So, dude, this whole area looks dramatically different. Damn, is it different. I'm not sure what that does. Oh, you know what it is? We gotta get this wheel moving. And once it's moving, then we gotta blow that up. Yeah. The whole area is completely different now.
Taste of vanilla magic led him to new forms of experimentation.
We're back.
New levels of depravity.
Look where we are. We're back.
Boom, and there it is. He saw a shock crystal, right? He has been taught correctly. He has been promised interesting gameplay. And because he is returning to the hub, he is thinking, oh, I feel like doing one of those. I know how those work. I'm in the mood for one of those. Or he can just explore it on his own. That is the benefit. The result is that we do have a compass system, and we do have a map, right? But our hope is that players will be self-motivated, and that self-discovery will drive their exploration instead. It's good for players to feel motivated via UI or completion percentages. These are very valid design techniques and tools. But it's also good if players are self-motivated because they're actually seeking out interesting content. If this player likes shock crystal scenarios, then he can go and find more of them on his own. Players are trained that new abilities will be unlocked in the levels, and that in turn, interesting scenarios will be delivered. So the promise becomes more than just completion percentages. The promise becomes interesting scenarios.
They did? Apparently people are saying at the Game Developers Conference they used my footage of playing God of War and they blocked my face out. That's illegal. Just so they know, that's illegal. You at least have to ask me for permission so that I can give you permission, and then they can say, okay, it's, you know, it's a fair use of it. You can't just steal someone's gameplay and block their face out and use it at your conference. That's not allowed. I mean, obviously I'm not going to do anything about it, but that's kind of funny. Joseph sees as they use your playing God of War as an example of how they teach players the game rules for the levels or whatever. Your face is blurred out, but you can totally tell that it's you and your audio. So they used my gameplay as an example of how they used in-game tools to teach me how to play the game. That's cool. That means it was effective. They had effective tools. The player was able to learn. That's actually good. It would have been nice if they asked for my permission before stealing my content, but I guess everyone just thinks everything on the internet is fair game to just do whatever you want with it. It's not. You know, it's pretty fucked up that they would just steal it and not say, hey, Phil, can we just use your video? Because I would have said yes. I absolutely would have said yes. But that's monetized content. The advertisement rights are for YouTube to advertise, and they're not supposed to be able to just steal it. So that's kind of messed up that they did that. Especially the fact that they felt that they had to blur out my face says something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you have to blur out the gamer's face, obviously you're doing something that's not exactly kosher, right? Okay. Rokuro, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're totally off base. I don't want to talk about this all day, but if someone takes your content and uses it for their own purposes without permission, that is not fair use. Fair use would be, for example, let's say someone was taking this stream. This stream was going to be, what, 3 hours of gameplay? And out of this stream, I don't know, they take 25, 30 minutes and they actually use it to review my stream and say, oh, here's what we thought about Phil's Mass Effect stream today. He did this, this, and this, and they show the footage of me doing it. And we think this about this was good, this was bad. That's fair use. Commentary, criticism, transformative work, those are all fair use. Taking someone out of something out of someone's gameplay, blurring their face, and using it in your own creative project that has nothing to do with the original is not fair use at all. That's just not fair use. They should have asked me for permission. The thing is, they know I'm not going to go after them. They know that Joe Schmo Gamer, who plays their game on the internet, is he's not going to sue them for the content. You know what I'm saying? There's very specific times that things can and can't be used for things like that. Very specific times. Oh shit.